What is up, y'all? We are back with another video. What type of video today? We got some more Terrifier 3 updates. Before we get into it, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So we know that a couple of days ago we got the Terrifier 3 Naughty Cut trailer, but we just also got the Nice Cut, which has an extra amount of scenes in it with details with the Terrifier 3 plot and details. But before we get into this, let's talk about the synopsis with Terrifier 3. After surviving Art the Clown's Halloween massacre, Sienna and her brother are struggling to rebuild their shattered lives. As the holiday season approaches, they try to embrace the Christmas spirit and leave the horrors of the past behind. But just when they think they're safe, Art the Clown returns, determined to turn their holiday cheer into a new nightmare. The festive season quickly unravels as Art unleashes his twisted brand of terror, proving that no holiday is safe. So, yes, guys, Terrifier 3 is on the way. I just got my tickets from Cinemark. We're locked in, y'all. I cannot wait. This is my most anticipated horror film of 2024, and I cannot wait to just be in the seats and just see what's going on. But let's talk about what we've seen. So to get into this, we see a picture of Art kind of crouching down. You see like a kitchen counter in the back, you know, some decorations, and it has the same lighting as that re-release of Terrifier 2 teaser with Juliet and everything. You know, she's coming downstairs, you know, it has that little dim Christmas lighting. This looks like the same house, and I talked about that in my previous video. This definitely has to be Juliet's house, but he's crouching down almost like someone smaller is hiding somewhere, possibly hiding away from Art before she gets unalive, sadly. I think that this is definitely, you know, the before scene of when Juliet takes her last breath. I think Art is going to probably pull her out of this cubby, and then something will happen. Like, it just seems like we're in a POV of a child. That's just my opinion, and we're looking directly at Art. So this could potentially be that controversial scene that David Howard Thorpe was talking about, and this is probably the before of it, and then after, we already know what's going to happen. You know, Juliet, then Jennifer, and everything, and then I think it's just going to be a complete crazy mess. I know it's going to be crazy, man. I know some people ain't looking forward to that, but I think it's going to be wild. And then we get a shot of Art the Clown in a bar. It looks like, you know, he's very clean right here. So in this picture, I notice he's no, you know, blood or nothing on his, you know, face or on his fur of his Santa suit. And he does not have the mustache on. So he's yet to have the mustache right here in this photo. But something I put together with this is this scene is possibly when he gets his. So this scene right here with Daniel Roebuck, you gotta love Daniel Roebuck. He's a big name when it comes to Rob Zombie movies, but he's also Santa. We saw that in a previous photo that was released, and he's obviously stripped down to his clothes and his undershirt, and he's being unalived. So we know that Daniel Roebuck is definitely a goner. It's just all about how he's going to be unalived. And yeah, this is definitely going to be in that bar. You could tell by the background and the light and everything. Definitely, I'm happy that Daniel Roebuck is in this. He did an amazing job in Michael Levy's new movie. He's very funny. So yeah, he's the perfect Santa, man. I think that definitely this unalive right here is going to be very entertaining. But that is definitely how we get Art the Clown in a Santa costume. Is going to be from that bar. So it kind of makes me think this is definitely going to be the opening. Possibly, you know, Art the Clown comes fresh after, you know, the asylum and everything. Remember, we see him headless walk to the asylum after he, you know, gets back, you know, reattached with his head. He, you know, wanders out into Miles County, ends up in a bar, takes out Daniel Roebuck. It's, you know, the same night as Juliet's death. He takes out Daniel Roebuck at the bar, puts on a Santa costume, and heads over to Juliet's house and Jennifer's house. And maybe, you know, as we proceed through that, afterwards, that's when stuff happens with Sienna and Jonathan. We can get the story rolling and things like that. But I definitely think this is how it's going to kick off. He's going to walk through Miles County, and it's going to go from there. So we see a shot of Art digging in his trash bag, and I'm pretty sure this is where he's going to get the chainsaw from, the famous trash bag. And this is the showers. Obviously, you see the urinals over there and stuff like that. This is the showers. that Mia and Cole are getting it on in, and then Art's going to get the chainsaw, and he's going to recreate one of the craziest scenes in movie history with Scarface with the chainsaw. I cannot wait. I think this is going to be one of the most brutal scenes in the Art the Clown, you know, kill book in the Terrifier franchise, so I'm very excited for that. But we see an amazing shot through this trailer with Art the Clown with the fire extinguisher. Now, you could tell from like the background a little bit, this is the same scene with the attic and everything, with the guy upstairs with the highlighter green vest, and he's next to Art looking at him while Art has the webs on him. It's looking like Art is going to take him out with a fire extinguisher, and that's kind of crazy. I don't know how. I mean, I could see how, but a fire extinguisher, or at least the fire extinguisher, might play a part in, you know, that death with the guy with the highlighter green vest. I'm thinking he's working for that demolition team. That was his truck that possibly got took, and Art's going to be riding around in. But when you go back and look at Daniel Roebuck, you see that he has like smoke coming from him, similar to what comes out of a fire extinguisher. So when you think about it, Art the Clown he's going to have to approach Daniel Roebuck with the original Art the Clown costume on, right? The black and white. So the background is kind of throwing me off, but it kind of seems like Daniel Roebuck might be involved with the fire extinguisher also. You know what I'm saying? But just the background for me right here kind of tells me that it's the guy in the attic, but I can be wrong. It's either Daniel Roebuck or the guy in the attic. And then we see a shot of Jonathan, which is very interesting, like he's hiding. We see a Dream Kid poster. I think what's going on is that they're on, you know, a double date type thing, like where, like, you know, a 2-on-2. Mia and Cole, you know, are getting it on, but Cole is having Jonathan be a distraction with Alexa. Maybe Alexa's annoying friend that blocks, you know, if you know what I mean, that blocks. And he's like, hey, Jonathan, you know, rock out with Alexa for a minute. And they go up to the showers, but Jonathan doesn't want to be with Alexa. Maybe Alexa's unalived, and Jonathan now sees Art the Clown, because we've seen that Sienna approaches him in the trailer saying that she's seen Art the Clown, and Jonathan's not having. He's like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I want to leave. You know, he just, you know, you could tell he's suffering, you know, with trauma and stuff. But in this scene right here, I think he actually sees Art the Clown, just how Sienna saw him before this. So I definitely think that that scene we saw him and Sienna talking, that was before this scene, and now this is later in the night, probably at that frat house with Mia and Cole and Alexa, and he sees something with Art the Clown, and now he understands that Art the Clown is back. That's exactly what I think is going on. So it's going in order. And this right here, he's lifting the axe over his head, and he's taking out Juliet's mom, Jennifer, played by Chrissy Fox. I think her death is going to be very brutal. You know, we've seen in the naughty cut another shot of her death, and it looks like he's digging, if that makes sense. It looks like he's really digging. So I mean, I think it's going to be brutal. I think it's going to be a very brutal death with, you know, Jennifer and Art the Clown, and she's going to find her daughter unalive and stuff like that, and it's going to go from there. Now we see this guy on the floor face first, and he's laying down, and Art the Clown is standing over him. And this scene right here, I already talked about this in my previous video with the naughty cut. Art the Clown is definitely going to take him out with that box cutter. It was a picture that released in this attic where Art the Clown has a box cutter. So, I don't know, right here's a little space between Art the Clown where his leg is. Almost like, it looks like it can be that piece from a fire extinguisher, but I can be wrong. But I think definitely the fire extinguisher is going to be used in this scene. I mean, who knows? Maybe Art takes it to the bar with Daniel Roebuck and uses it on him also. But either way, the fire extinguisher on the guy, possibly not confirmed, but the box cutter is damn near confirmed with the picture. But he's a goner, and I think Art the Clown's going to take his van for sure. He's the one that Art gets the van from. Here's the close-up on the guy, and he's done for it. He's definitely done. You could tell he's a goner. Definitely, it's probably going to be a lot of unalives in Terrifier 3, for sure, a lot of them. And then we see a shot of Art the Clown closing the doors on the van, guys. We see a shot of Art the Clown closing doors on the van. Such a great shot. It's going to be crazy seeing Art the Clown drive around in this van. I love that scene where he pulls up on the curb to the frat house like he means business, and he has the bag. So it looks like Art the Clown is on different timing than this. I cannot wait. And something else I think that is crazy, as we look at Art and Victoria through, you know, these trailers and things like that, it's something that I'm starting to think, what if Victoria is Mrs. Art the Clown? You know what I'm saying? She's Mrs. Art the Clown, being that it's some type of, I know it sounds crazy, it's just like a fucked up relationship, but it's like some type of, you know, relationship going on with Victoria and Art the Clown. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that is crazy if that's like somehow revealed, like they're like dating now and she's like Mrs. Art the Clown, but that's just me. Maybe she's just simply, you know, his right-hand gal. That's it. But I don't know, man. I just think it'll be crazy. And then when you sit here and think about it, also, I was talking about Jason Patric being the father of Jonathan and Sienna. If you look at this picture of Jason Patric in Terrifier 3, if you look down below, you can see possibly the same type of comic papers that Jonathan and Sienna was looking through in Terrifier 2, replicating that warrior image of Sienna. But if you look down in the corner, you see like a smaller person, like a kid with the same hairstyle as, you know, possibly a flashback it can be of Sienna. This is very interesting. Or like a young Jonathan. It definitely looks like he's talking to a kid. So possibly definitely getting a flashback. And we can see those comics once again on the wall. But I can be wrong. Nothing's confirmed. And we see like posters up here. Look, that looks kind of like animated and things. So this definitely almost confirms, you know, Jonathan and Sienna's father. Possibly a flashback also. It can explain a lot of the backstory with Art the Clown, Sienna, and Jonathan. So I definitely think this is what that scene is right here. Just them explaining some stuff that we need to hear when it comes to Sienna and Jonathan's father. But this person right here in the corner can either be a younger Sienna or it can be a younger Jonathan. And this is definitely the father, I think. But it's not confirmed. It's just me putting pieces together and speculating. Comment down below what you guys think. Did we just find out who the father is? I definitely think he's going to be the father for sure. It's just like he fits the role, in my opinion, Jason Patric. But in order for us to see stuff with him, it's going to have to be flashbacks. So damn near, it's going to have to be some flashbacks confirmed, which I already talked about. You know, he was into the comics. He was the one who created the comics and gave him the blueprint with the warrior costume and everything. So if they're going back to like a lot of the backstory and origins of this, he's going to definitely have to be involved. So I definitely think we're going to be getting some Terrifier 3 flashbacks. And I'm sold on Jason Patric being the father of those too. So maybe, but nothing's confirmed. Also, I was thinking this also, like, okay, we see these kids run up, but we can't label their faces. We don't know who these kids are. And, you know, we saw a new picture of Art showing a doll to one of the kids. So you know how he said it was body parts? I mean, it could still be body parts. Maybe he's baiting them with the toys, but yeah, he shows them a doll or whatever. But when you push forward, what if Juliet actually is one of those kids? Or maybe he finds, you know, Juliet through the group of the kids, you know, while he's handing out gifts. Or look, it could be a recreation of the alley scene. You remember in Terrifier 2 when she was like, you want candy? And she was kind of like, you know, pushing Art the Clown off a little bit, making jokes of him. Like, okay, what if Jennifer, Chrissy Fox, has one of those alley moments in the mall with Art the Clown? Like, who are you? Like, get away from my child. You know, you're a weirdo. You know, Art the Clown, he probably remembers, like, okay. And then he follows her to the house, and that's how we get the Juliet unalive, you know, and we get Jennifer being unalive, all because she spoke too much to Art the Clown, and he remembered it, and, you know, maybe he just tells her home and he follows her and stuff like that. Maybe we can get a scene where she cusses Art the Clown out, similar to the alley scene in Terrifier 2, where she's like, you know, who's that on my door and everything. I think it can be something like that, and that's how the whole situation happens with Jennifer, Art, and Juliet. But I can be wrong. And I think that this scene that we're going to get, the opening scene from Terrifier 3, is going to definitely be insane. It's definitely going to be insane for me kind of aiming up things with Daniel Roebuck, how Art gets the Santa costume and he jumps over to Juliet, you know, the mall and everything. I definitely think it's going to be something like that, where basically it's all going to domino from, you know, point one. It's going to domino with just being, you know, people being unalived, and then Mia Cole is unalived, and I think the story is going to, you know, just kick up from there for real with Jonathan and everything. But when you sit here and think about it, they're definitely going to have to tell us a lot with this story, because I'm going to tell you this, Damien is a great writer, man. He's a great storyteller, and we're knee deep in a Terrifier story right now, like knee deep. And like I said, I think Jonathan's unalived. I think Sienna is going to be elevated as a final girl in Terrifier 3. And I think, you know, like David Howard Thornton said in that interview recently, these kills from Art the Clown are going to be so brutal. He said it's going to be Art the Clown's highest body count. So I'm really looking forward to this, y'all. Comment down below what you guys think about everything with Terrifier 3 and what you think will happen and what do you want to see happen. But unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I want y'all to hit me up on my social medias at ILIKESCARY. I want you all to watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. I love you all. Peace.